this one topic for fucking days. I'm going to try to make it concise. It's important to know. It's very important to know. We good? We live?
Yep.
Communism versus God. So there's a reason why we have In God We Trust on our money in America. There's a reason why the Christian right-wing, religious, evangelical, Christian apologetics and all that stuff. There's a reason why the Billy Grahams of the world hate and fear communism so much. There is a reason why the baby boomer generation pushed into everybody's heads over and over again, communism bad, socialism is just communism, blah, 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 right? And that is, communism itself can, not always, not every single time it's manifested itself. And let's just get this out of the way real quick. There exists this thing called theoretical communism, which is a stateless society where everybody's equal. That's just an on-paper idea. Nobody has ever been able to do that on a large scale. They can do it in like Jonestown small-scale scenarios for a limited amount of times, but eventually tragedy of the commons breaks down the whole fucking thing and it doesn't work. Nobody has ever been able to do theoretical communism. Everybody's equal, like Star Trek, yet. And I can't wait to discuss why that is an issue, but that's for another day. Right now, I want to discuss the very specific link between American Christianity and its hatred and despising of communism. And that is, for a very specific reason. Sometimes a communist state can replace God and religion altogether. Look at the Chinese version of communism. They've been around for 10,000 years. They have a written history that goes back 10,000 years. When you're born into that society, you know that you're in a society that's 10,000 years old, and it will probably still be there 10,000 years from now. So you know your hierarchy and your place in the generations. And you know from birth, and you are taught that you are just in a family line on a totem pole. And you're just a cog in the machine, right? So this actually takes place of belief in God and belief of the afterlife, because you know your place and you know your purpose and you know what you're supposed to do. I talk to Chinese citizens all the time on the internet. Do you know what they're worried about? They're worried about completing their work so that their family will benefit from their work, so that their society can then benefit from their work. They know their place. They're not worried about God. They're not worried about heaven or the afterlife. They're worried about right now working for China and Chinese interests and their own personal family interests, so that their family can benefit for many, many, many generations down. Now, why do we not have this belief in the West, specifically America? Well, we are a new, fresh country, continent, society, culture, whatever. I mean, we're less than 300 years old. I think we're less than 250 years old right now. Yeah, pretty sure. That is very young on a time scale of a country. Right? So, people are always like, where does this American selfish, entitled attitude come from? And it comes from the fact that we are very young. We are all not only encouraged by society and our families to pursue our own path and our own dreams and to do whatever we want. It's a cornerstone of our belief system. The idea that all of this untouched natural resources and land just stretch before us, and we have nothing but limitless possibilities, and we can do anything that we want in our lives. That's a uniquely American concept, specifically because we went through an industrial revolution. We conquered, then settled the West, and then we won. We didn't actually win. We were on the winning side of World War II, and our infrastructure was untouched. So America loves its individuality, its concept of getting in a car and going out on the open road and pursuing freedom and having barbecues and doing selfish things, because the only thing we really care about is the here, the now, the fact that America exists and it's prosperous. We are enjoying our prosperity. And just a little side note, the reason why America prospers so much is because we have the greatest food system on planet Earth. So think about that next time you want to bash industrial farming and factory farming. We have the best food system on planet Earth, and it's one of the reasons why we are so selfish and we are so worried about our own petty, temporary, short lives, because we can fill our gullets with limitless amounts of food, even if we are homeless people. You do not starve in this country, and that is a wonderful thing to be proud of. But I digress. They are scared, and this is the whole point of the video, coming full circle, back around to my thought of the day. They are scared that if we allow socialist elements to come into our society and then we start leaning towards a more equal society, that it will result in the communist society where we no longer care about God, because now we worship the state, is what they call it. It's when you think the state is the most important thing, not God. And Ted Cruz says that he was a Christian first and then a politician second. You shouldn't vote for a guy like that. Whether you're in a communist state or an American state, you need a guy that's going to be running things who thinks that's the most important job at that moment. And that's really all I want to say. So the thought of the day was an explanation of why specifically American Christian right-wing types are very fearful of the idea of communism and equality, specifically wage equality, because they are scared that once you start leaning that way politically and socially, that you're going to lean away from religion. And, you know, that'll probably be another thought of the day for me. They have done studies that shows the higher wage you earn, the more prosperous you are in life, the less likely you are to be religious. Because really, when you think about it, it's only the poor people that turn to religion because they don't have anything else to turn to. And that's my thought of the day, an explanation of why communism is so disliked in America. I hope this video gave you just a little bit of knowledge and enlightenment on that particular topic. And if you like it, comment below. And of course, subscribe to my channel.